everybody, this is Angela Savage, the daughter of IndyCar driver Swede Savage. It's time to watch stories from motorsports. My buddy, Doug Kenny, loves to share the journey of people in racing, and he is an amazing dude. Drivers, owners, fans, and team members, watch the SFM podcast.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny from Stories from Motorsports. I'd like to thank my buddy Josh Mabe for the YouTube work he did years ago that inspired me to create this platform. I'd like to thank my buddy Victor Sifton for convincing me to get back into it after my hiatus from 2017 to 2019. I have a very special treat for you all today with an amazing journey from an amazing racing figure. Drivers, start your engines.
Not even taking advantage of the opportunity, but it was because I didn't really take advantage of it. But it was making the most of an opportunity to really help the sport, to make it better in a lot of different ways, and and that's one of those things. Those who know. That's not something that gets talked about or written about or for that matter, probably not that many people care about it, and nor should they, because it's not that, but it means a lot to me knowing that I was able to contribute in a very meaningful way, something that is now into another generation going forward. And, and it was ultimately important.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, so that was good. To me, it's something that I'm proud of.
Yeah.
I'm as proud of that as I am of any accomplishment that I had on the track as a driver.
You should be. That's a big honor, with Wally Dallenbach, you didn't talk back from what I heard.
No, Wally was I first met him in 1982 when I was trying to get my IndyCar racing license, when I was going for my rookie test at Willow Springs Raceway in California in the summer of '82. That was the first time I'd met Wally, and and it was an interesting thing, right? So how do things weave around? So I meet Wally. He's the chief steward of CART in those days. Mm-hmm. So that's the first time I met him, and got to know him. But he has him being the man in charge. But then I'm teammates with Wally Dallenbach Jr. at Roush Racing in Trans Am Series in '85. Raced against Wally Jr. when he moved to Chevy in '86. '87, Paul, Wally's brother Paul, drove some races with him in IMSA, and so there's this whole thing. You get to know these people, and then you become friends. But most importantly, you get to know people, and they get to know you. Beyond just being a race car driver. And what does that lead? Well, that all of that stuff that happened in the '80s, fast forward to 20 years later, so when you look back at stuff like this, does stuff that the stuff that you do today, does it really matter? How if you're young, if you're in your 20s, does it matter? Does the impression you make on people, does it really matter? Well, I can look at the camera in the eye and tell you, yeah, it really does, because if they had an unfavorable impression of me, even from the beginning, or at any point in time in between, if anything was unfavorable, he would have never called me to take over for him. It was too important, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that you just never know. Not that you're behaving differently so that something might happen. You be yourself, but you have to be good. You have to be honest and sincere, right?
And have the vibe, right?
Yeah, and it's like, and that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that you're changing your destiny for great things to happen, but it does mean that your actions do matter, and how you carry yourself matters, and the impressions that you make on people are lasting.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please hit like and subscribe if you did so, and please continue supporting our amazing guest. And everybody, we'll see you next time on SFM.
Hi, this is Ted Warner speaking. While the checkered flag is waved for this program, stay tuned for next week for the next episode of SFM. Thanks to Doug Kenny for what he does for motorsports.